Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show with Fantasy Football God, Freddie Ewan. Hope everyone is having a great day. Never forget, I just want to put that out there. It's so long ago, I feel like I remember exactly where I was, and I feel like I remember that day like it was yesterday, and what went on that day. That was a crazy day that changed a lot of lives. But anyway, I hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. We are done with our first week of fantasy football. You're either 1-0 or 0-1. Best ball leagues are getting going. Everything is rocking and rolling. Waiver wire is up, and fantasy football is back, baby. That's exciting. Today we're going to talk about something fantasy football related. This is a new fantasy football league that I joined this year, and I think this is probably the craziest concept I've ever seen in a fantasy football league. That hopefully it's going to work because it is a fantastic idea. It is a no limit fantasy football league where it is an auction draft, and you pay dollar per dollar, and you can pay for any player that you want and bid as much as you want on any player. Um, there was a $500 cap on this, where if you went over $500, you can certainly go over $500 and spend whatever you want. There was a luxury tax. So it was pretty much playing fantasy football like the way Major League Baseball goes. And it was super exciting. A couple things on this is couple rules are a little bit different, not really a little bit different, but the waiver wire during the season, same thing, dollar for dollar. You can bid how much you want anytime. After the waiver wire's 2-day period ends, then it's $1 a piece if you pick up a player that went through waivers. Um, awesome night. I didn't know how I was going to draft this team. I had a co-GM who knows this stuff, and I had another buddy of mine where we were all trying to figure out how to draft this team, and you couldn't really put any values on anybody until the actual draft started, which was pretty crazy. And we knew that we were going to probably not spend a whole lot of money on the draft and look for value, and basically, play as the season goes along and really try to ride the wire, and play the matchups and whatnot, which I think gives us a little bit of an advantage for that. But I want to show you this. I'm going to share my screen here and show you the values that these guys paid for. This was crazy. This is the team right here. This is all the players. This is my team right over here on the left. We'll get to that in 1 second. But Amon-Ra Brown, $355. Some guy paid 355 actual dollars to have Amon-Ra Brown on his team. He was the highest guy. Second highest guy, I think, was it might have been Tyreek Hill, 231, which when it comes out to it, that was kind of worked out. We kind of found the values here. I thought Christian McCaffrey, I thought initially McCaffrey was going to go for maybe $100. He went for $203. Bijan went for 150. Brees went for 150. And even down here, this is Justin Kicker with no defenses. Justin Tucker, kicker, $47. This guy, whoever this guy's team is, he didn't think that was enough, so he drafted another kicker for $35. And a lot of money spent. Let me just show you this league and how it works too. Let me see if I can bring this up really quickly. I know I got it somewhere up here. Yeah, so here is what everyone spent. I'm a Team of Destiny. We only spent $268 on the draft. We had a guy spend $1,253, and he went over the luxury tax. That $376.50 goes into the pot. $1,629 he spent altogether. And then, up here, it's a total of 12 teams, $9,193. 25% of the prize pool goes to weekly bonuses, where the top 3 teams that score the most points, win or lose, they get 25% of the pot all split up, and it's turned out to be a little bit under $55 each. But you look at look at how everyone spent right here. This is made $272 so far. This guy at the bottom was on auto draft for $69. Another guy spent $295. Another guy spent $442, and then you have some big spenders here. This guy, a lot of guys spent about almost $1,000 on this league, which is it's cool because it's I played in $1,000 fantasy football leagues before where everyone pays $1,000, but here it gives you an opportunity to either pay a lot and have a chance, probably have a better chance to win the big pot, but you're definitely spending a lot more. Like this guy who paid $1,629, if he gets third, he doesn't even get his money back. He's gotta hit second to break even. Whereas us, we spend $268. This is like I know we were about 3% of the total pot right now, but coming in first, second, and third, that's almost 6x on third place, and I'm not even going to do the math on first and second. Now that being said, our team is not as good as the other teams. We looked for a lot of value, and I think we found it in some spots. We got Stevenson for $17, which I liked. A couple of these other running backs, the jury's still out on them. In timeshares, Javonte Williams, Zamir White, Jalen Warren, Rico Dowell. But you see here, we're going with that really late round running backs that have a decent shot. The most we spent was $55 on Malik Neighbors. $160 on Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison was picked 4th in the NFL draft. Neighbors was finished 6th. And, I think that Neighbors is going to have a lot more targets than Harrison this year. We looked for wide receivers that are on teams that should score a lot of points. Rashid Rice was another one that we got for $38. I thought we got a ton of value on him. Ridley, $17, ton of value on him. JSN, second year, ton of value on him. And the two Buffalo receivers, Keon Coleman, we got for $10, and Khalil Shakir for $27. We're looking for the guy who's going to take Diggs's catches in Buffalo. But there were some guys. We weren't the only team that really did that. There were some teams that got a lot of value too. My man over here, Devinder, didn't spend a whole lot of money. He got Kenneth Walker for $29, huge value. Aaron Jones for $16, another big value. He did pay up for a big receiver. He got Tyreek Hill for $231. And Diggs for $28. So there were some values to be found. Just looking in the running back spot, there were some values. James Cook for $55 is probably a pretty good value. DeAndre Swift for $35. Montgomery for $34 probably a pretty good value. And Najee Harris, some of these guys, this guy got Taylor for $92. A chain for $40 was a great value. I think Mixon for $58 was a great value. So, you could really get any player that you want as long as you were willing to spend the money. We had our week 1, and I had, I lost my first game. But let me see if I can bring this up too. The standings after 1 week. Let me see if I can find this. Here are the standings after 1 week, and 8 teams make the playoffs too. We wanted to keep teams, there's 12 teams, 8 teams make the playoffs, and we wanted to keep people active in this so they're still spending money during the free agent period. So we would actually make the playoffs right now, even though we lost this week. And I'm trying to figure out some kind of mathematical correlation to the money spent. What I've been doing is, dollars spent per points, but that's not necessarily they're going to be name all, mathematical approach to this, as, wins are going to have a lot to do with this too. But, getting a lot of points is going to get you, weekly bonuses and this and that. So it's going to be interesting to see where this plays out, where the guys who spend a ton of money, really, really have to go in there and they have to get, I think, a lot of guys spent $900 and, they're going to get $1,200 in third place. They're really going to have to get, first, second to make a huge value out of that, while we only spent $255 and don't have to get a whole lot of don't have to win a whole lot to get value out and make a profit out of our team. The other thing that I really like about this league is you bid every week on the waiver wire, and as most players know, the people who pay attention to the waiver wire, who play the matchups, look at the shadow reports, the guys that are really getting into this fantasy football and not just putting it all in on the draft, are going to be the guys that are there at the end. Usually it's not always that way, but usually, you are not going to win a fantasy football league just alone on the draft. A lot different in best ball. If this was a best ball league, we obviously would have spent, probably the same amount as the other guys did. But, this being a, same thing, 14 game regular season with, 8 teams in the playoffs. I thought that, we should save some of the money that we thought we were going to spend and really kind of work the waiver wire and find the values and play the matchups. The other thing that I think we're at a little bit of advantage is, I mean, it's gonna be hard to cut some of these guys too. It's like, I mean, you pick up some guy who's I'm just trying to think of someone, who goes, for instance, like, let's just say this guy picked up his backup quarterback, Jordan Love, for $60. Love is out for, how many games. That's his backup quarterback. Luckily, he paid up and got Lamar Jackson for $128. This is a one quarterback league too, by the way. But it's going to be hard to drop one of these guys when you think, I've actually paid so much money on this guy and he turns into shit or he gets injured. You're going to second guess being dropping that guy, where I think, for us, we're going to be able to drop any of these guys without a problem. I mean, if we drop, Dow for $7, I think we'll survive. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to keep you guys all in tune where how this league goes. And, I really hope that this is the future of fantasy football, because you have guys sometimes that, there's all my buddies, at least, some guys want to pay, play in the league for $1,000 each. There's other guys that, have families and have don't have the money to spend, and they only want to pay $100 or $200 in a league. And here everyone can play. Everyone can play, and the guys who spend $200 will have a opportunity to win more money. The guys who spend a lot of money have an opportunity to profit less. But we'll see. It's going to be really exciting. I really like how this turned out, and I'm really looking forward to this league in particular for the season. So this was the one that I lost this week, unfortunately. But I do really like our team. I think we found a lot of great value, and we're going to have a great season. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great Wednesday. Tomorrow night, a big game, Miami Dolphins. Their backfield is all banged up already. A chain I thought was going to make or break the fantasy football season. Looks like he's doing that right now. Great week 1 and may not play in game 2. Mozart is definitely out. So, things are shaking up in the fantasy football world all of a sudden. You got to get on there and you got to work this every week if you want to be successful. Anyway, everyone have a great Wednesday. Take care. Make sure to like and subscribe too.